What's up, YouTube? Mr. LawMSC here, and we've got an announcement date for 2.6. That's right. Well, I guess not quite a date. Next week. Next week. That's almost like an announcement date. But 2.6, we've got our first teaser of it. That's right. Pez Radar, community manager, has said, "It's me. New info. We are currently looking at ramping up a PTR for early next week." Like I say, that's like almost an announcement date. Big focus will be on testing some new Runewordss. You may start to see those over the weekend from some friends. The team is looking forward to the feedback. So it looks like within a couple of days, maybe a single day, we're going to get new information about these new Runewordss. I also wonder if there are any other changes coming with 2.6. If they're not just adding some Runewordss in, but maybe doing something like adding a loot filter or something. They'd probably tease that, though. You know, I would imagine that would come with a teaser, with something in conjunction, a little more. That seems like maybe a bigger change that they would be adding in. But you never know, right? There's really a lot of cool little things that they could add. Maybe even just like a couple more stash tabs, increase the character limit. There's really just a few ways that they could really throw some beautiful things our way. Stackable gems and runes. I think that one would be teased more as well. So I'm doubting it's those, but maybe they'll surprise me. Who knows? Maybe we'll all be surprised on it. However, we do at least know there'll be a big focus on testing some new Runewordss. So my question to you guys is, what do you think it is? What do you think the Runewordss will be? My thoughts are, right now when we take a look, we should bring up paint. When we take a look at the current state of Runewordss, right? There's a lot of, this is early game, mid game, late game, right? There's a decent chunk of late game Runewordss, if we're going to be honest. And this is for all types, right? We can have over here like caster, range, melee. We really fit everything over here. You have your Enigma, you have your Fortitude, you have your COH, you have, I guess there's not really a Runeword with FCR late game that you'd be using. So maybe that could be something that we could see, is like, there's a missing hole for like an FCR Runeword. I know we have Hodo, but I'm thinking like a chest armor. Sorry, when I'm thinking through those. Yes, though, we do have Hodo. We do have Spirit. Obviously, these two are amazing. We do have Grief. We do have, E-botted. I guess it's just botted technically. We do have Last Wish, right? We do have Fortitude, which kind of fits in the middle here. We do have, obviously CTA kind of just covers everything. But like an FCR chest armor, I feel like that's potentially missing. Maybe help people get to that 200 FCR spot. Or a helm with FCR, right? There's no like, there's not a helm or chest armor. And this is something that we really see in the way of assassins, right? Assassins need an FCR helmet because right now they're just kind of wrecked without it. And I know Cooley's suggestion was, let's make Enigma go into the helmet, and then you use like, I don't know, Viper Magi or something, I guess, for your armor, and then you can hit your FCR points. But right now, assassins use Griffins, which doesn't even benefit them, right? A lot of people think Griffins, that like lightning damage minus lightning resist helps their traps. It doesn't. It doesn't help them. The only reason you use Griffins is to hit the breakpoint if you're going dual claw. There's no other way to get 105 dual claw without Griffins, because you have 20 on your gloves, 40 from the belt, 50, 60, 70 if you go ring, ring, Ammy. Or 80, sorry, because you have the 20 from the Ammy. And then 105 with Griffins. And that's it. There's no other place to get FCR. So I do wonder if there's going to be an FCR helmet brought in or an FCR chest brought in. The chest wouldn't help the Assassins, but the helmet would. But it would need to be 25, right? So it'd have to be at least 25 FCR. From an early game perspective, I guess I can type things. We do have, some early game stuff, I guess. We have like Steel, Malice. Obviously Stealth, again, just kind of covers everything. We have mid-game like Honor, Wisdom, kind of that rune they made kind of goes into here, but you need the pole rune. You have Strength and Black, but the problem with Strength and Black is they don't really give enough damage overall. Unbending Will is kind of in here, but again, it's kind of like maybe a little bit over here. I feel like mid-game melee heroes and like bows as well. I mean, you have Harmony, you have Edge, whatever, but they don't really like do a ton there. Obviously, you can have like Spirit Sword. Insight is decent. I suppose they made that over to Insight now. Early caster, I guess I'll put Stealth because that's mainly in here. I mean, Smoke and, you have some things that are helpful. There's not really a good Cannot Be Frozen again. And yeah, like you say, Zephyr's kind of like your early game. You have Can't Be Frozen from Rhyme Shield, but you need a shield, and so that ruins any build that's running 2 hands. You can't do it. And like I say, they introduced Wisdom, but I think that leaves you need a pole rune for that, right? So I think we may see, my guess is we will see some sort of Cannot Be Frozen other rune word. Maybe it can be made in like any weapon type or something. I feel like we really need just like a Cannot Be Frozen ED. I mean, lore is nice. That's great for casters. Cannot Be Frozen, enhanced damage, armor, weapon, something like that. There really isn't much for like a physical boson. I completely agree with that. Melee still really struggles all the way through because, again, it's like Honor's not bad, but Strength and Black, they only really give like that good crushing blow. You're not really getting enough damage out of them. And I think, again, another big issue is they didn't... This happened. When 110 came out and they buffed all of... Yeah, I'm a little sick, by the way. That's why I'm like kind of stepped up. And they buffed all of the life of monsters and all of this stuff. They did not buff the item bases to appropriately adjust up to the value. So it's like all these monsters gained way more life. The item bases did not gain more damage. And so, but all the casters got their synergies. So it's like casters were able to adjust to the new life totals, but physical damage was never able to adjust. And you see that still through today. Physical damage really sucks, in this game. Oath is great, but again, it's a little bit like higher, right? It's kind of a little harder to get there. So that's a really big issue that the game has. They need to go back and adjust these base level items here to have a higher min, a higher max damage, so you can actually hit. And especially considering casters always hit and physical damage has a chance to hit. You feel like if that's the case, casters should do less damage but always hit, and physicals should do more damage but then have the chance to hit. And so now you have this like balance, right? Where it's like, okay, well, I know when I do get a swing off with my club, it's going to like kill it. Whereas the caster, it takes a few like shots or something. But currently you have a chance to hit to do worse damage than the caster who always hits. And that's really, I mean, your giant difference between them all. So yeah, I would say I see something like an FCR chest or helm. I think that could be a fit, especially a helm. If it gives like 25%, that could be really helpful. A cannot be frozen ED chest, I think, would probably be decent. And then like a really high ED or just plus damage weapon to really fit like in this slot, right? Something that like, yeah, you have like your Ort rune and you have, you know, whatever, right? It's something that you can get by end of normal, start of nightmare. And it'll be a really nice thing. And again, maybe it cannot be frozen weapon to go so you can run like honor plus this, you know, something like that. Thol or Io. What's Io do for weapons? Plus to vitality, right? Yeah. I mean, they could just shove whatever they want, but that would be, you know, kind of fitting. So yeah, that's my thoughts. That's my thoughts. Some sort of new cannot be frozen armor that can be gotten early on, because cannot be frozen is so important again. Something in the way of an FCR helm, and then some sort of weapon that really adds some decent damage that you can really use throughout Nightmare and feel really solid. I think there also should be something on the way here. I think this is the one other gap that we really feel. On the way to Grief, to Enigma, to Fortitude, Breath of the Dying, whatever it is, there is a gap currently. That is probably the last place I think there's really a gap. So I'm hoping that there's maybe another and something a little better than Unbending Will. You know, like Unbending Will is okay, but it's a 6 open socket. Right, I'll show it right here. Foul Io Ith Eld El Hell. So it's not like crazy runes, but six open socket swords. That's pretty hard. And so what? You're putting it in like, I guess a phase blade. I mean, for a barbarian, obviously, but if you want to be any other melee character, it's like in there. And it's got like, you know, it's like not bad. Nice ED on it, nice attack speed, but you know, you're really putting it in Colossus Blade, Phase Blade, I guess one of those two, and that feels a little difficult in that like in between slot, I guess. So I like the idea of it though. I think they could create another weapon that's maybe in like a 4 open socket. So you can, you know, in 4 open socket weapons that you could put other piece, you know, into other things, whatever it is, right? And it can use that similar range of runes, maybe even a little higher. You could have in there and stuff as well or something, and it's, yeah. So, that's my thoughts. That's my predictions, hopes, dreams. I'd love to hear yours as well. Go ahead and post it down below in the comment section as you like and subscribe and ring the bell or whatever the stuff you do. Yeah, thanks for watching, YouTube. See you guys next time. Peace.